Too many chances, man. Too many. Show a cop these videos. I'd rather be in prison. I'd rather kill you than go back to jail. You know what? I'll leave it here, haunt you. Maybe one day you will.
This is video surveillance of a chilling conversation between the man in the video, Keith Johansen, and his wife, Brandy Ruth Salenza. But just days later, police received a disturbing distress 911 call.
I was in the shower. I heard gunshots. I think my wife shot herself.
When cops arrived at the couple's residence, they suspected Brandy had shot herself. However, a sequence of damning signs discovered at the crime scene lead detectives to suspect that Keith is hiding the truth from the public.
Is that wet? No. So he was in the shower. The shower is underneath his shirt. Under her shirt? Under his shirt.
What I am saying is that what we have at the scene does not add up to what you're telling us.
On April 7th, 2018, Flagler County Sheriff was called to an address after a man made this disturbing 911 call.
Yes, may I have an officer?
Okay, what's going on there?
I was in the shower. I heard gunshots. I think my wife shot herself.
Where did she shoot herself?
Looks like in my bedroom.
Where did she shoot herself bodily?
I don't know. I can't see it.
Are you applying pressure to that wound?
No, I can't
Slide
reach
yourself.
her like that. I'm wet. I'm sliding on my floors.
You can't apply pressure.
I can't see it.
That caller was Keith Johansen, the husband of Brandy Ruth Salenza, whose body he claimed to have seen clinging to life in their home. Keith told the dispatcher he was in the shower when he heard two pop sounds and rushed out to find Brandy on the ground. As far as he knew, Brandy had accidentally shot herself and needed immediate medical assistance.
Relax, man, relax. So you got in the shower? How long were you in the shower, what you said?
Maybe 5 minutes.
5 minutes, all right.
And I heard boom, boom, and I thought it was a balloon.
How many shots did you hear?
2.
You heard 2?
And I thought it was a balloon at first. Then I heard the secondary shot. And I ran out there and seen her laying there going, so I called you guys immediately. I'm gonna tell her mom.
All right, hey, let's at this point, just listen. You're just going through a traumatic experience right now. Just relax, deep breaths. Try to just collect your thoughts, all right?
I don't want nobody in my family to ever have a gun again.
Johansen's reaction seems convincing, but what raised immediate suspicion was how Brandy could have possibly shot herself twice if it was indeed an accident. They also found defensive scratches on his torso, which pointed to a possible struggle. And as if that wasn't enough of a red flag, officers made another shocking discovery.
Is that wet? No. So he was in the shower. Yeah. Okay. The only thing that thing is the shower is underneath his shirt. Under her shirt? Under his shirt. Where? In casing. It's like right at the foot of the bed, right?
Dude, he's got scratches and blood all over him. And he said that he was in the shower. He's not wet at all.
While it's standard procedure for officers to question a witness to a suicide or homicide, Johansen's inconsistencies in his account raised enough suspicion to warrant him being taken in for further questioning. The entire interrogation was recorded on police cameras, capturing from start to finish a tragic tale of a man blissfully unaware of the nightmare he's responsible for.
It's something that I wish it was a nightmare and just went away. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a shower. And I took a shower, and in the shower I heard a boom. I thought it was a balloon. Then I heard a secondary boom. And I was like, what the hell? Walked out there, slipped on the floor, because there are wood floors. Slipped on the floor, looked over, and it's her laying there. And I immediately found my phone and called 911. Immediately. He was kind of yelling. He was kind of rude. Well, try to apply pressure. And I was like, I can't get to her. I'm soaking wet. You know what I mean?
Notice how Johansen blames the dispatcher for being rude simply because he asked him to apply pressure to save his wife's life. His response, saying he was afraid of slipping, increases the growing suspicion that he wanted her to bleed out before the EMS could arrive.
Are you applying pressure to that wound?
No, I can't
Slide
reach
yourself.
her like that. I'm wet. I'm sliding on my floors.
You can't apply pressure.
I can't see it. Listen, I got wood floors and I'm sliding. I don't want to risk hurting her or possibly one of the guns going off too.
Okay, but you can't reach down to her and apply pressure on the gunshot wound.
No, I can't see it. No, I can't.
Officers ask him about Brandy's personality to rule out the possibility that she was suicidal, and his reply will become important later in the interrogation.
She usually was a happy, bubbly person. And you can ask any of her friends this. She was one of those people who you were just like, if you were in the dumps, she would go out of her way to help her friends be out of the dump. You know what I mean? She was just real bubbly, and that's what attracted me to her.
So you said she's usually like that. Did something change, or was that just the wording that you used?
No, like 9 times out of 10, she was always bubbly, you know?
Okay. So do you have guns in the home?
Yeah.
Okay. How often does she touch the guns?
Often, like, she would move one, or if we were out in the living room, she would take one with her.
So those 2 guns, were they hers or yours?
They were mine and hers, kind of. I bought them.
Johansen's reply shows that Brandy wasn't depressed and was skilled with firearms, meaning she wasn't suicidal and couldn't have accidentally pulled the trigger. But Johansen will do anything to prove his innocence, even if it means calling his 6-year-old stepson a liar.
He told us that he heard his mom scream.
I heard no screams at all.
Why would he make that up?
Ask him.
Is he a liar?
He has been known to tell fibs, yes.
Does he tell you on the regular that his mom screams in the bedroom?
No.
Has he ever told you that his mom screams and it was a lie?
No, not screaming, but he lies about a bunch of other different things. You can ask his real father, and he'll tell you that too.
So why on this date would he lie about his mom screaming in the bedroom?
You guys can try to pin whatever you want on me. If you're trying to pin something on me, why would I have called 911?
You have a conscience, that's why. You love your wife, that's why.
So why?
It happens in the heat of the moment.
I would never do anything like that.
Accidents
and I
happen.
feel kind of offended.
I feel offended too, if we're gonna go to that level.
I feel really offended that you guys can try to pin an accident on me.
Even when the officer used psychological tactics to make it seem like the incident wasn't Johansen's fault and was probably an accident, Johansen quickly realized he was being cornered and claimed to feel offended. He even said that the security cameras in his house didn't work, so he wouldn't have to provide footage, when in fact he had switched off the ones in the living room 2 days before the murder. Cops would later obtain the footage from the night before the incident, and what they found couldn't have been more surprising.
Oh, man. It's like bad. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, you push a person to either beat or kill you because you're going to spend the rest of your days in an institution. I could throw you there tomorrow. You did? No problem. I suggest you use it. Getting too many chances, man. Too many. Show a cop these videos. I'd rather be in prison.
It was clear that Johansen wanted Brandy dead all along. He demeaned and threatened her as she lay on the bed, sobbing helplessly. He even repeatedly accused her of cheating despite the fact that he was seeing other women. Johansen struggled to keep his story consistent during the interrogation. At one point, he suggested there might have been an intruder, and at another, he told his dad that his 6-year-old stepson could have done it. With mounting evidence against him, Keith Johansen was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Police uncovered Keith's horrific lies at the scene of the crime, but what happens when CCTV footage captures an evil boyfriend attempting to destroy evidence on camera?
I tried to really creep up for about 15 WhatsApp messages. She said she was going to call me when she got home or text me or something. I sent loads of WhatsApps and like...
What vehicle do you drive, Ross?
Sorry?
What vehicle do you drive?
I don't drive.
In relation to Megan, can you tell us where she is?
At around 7:32 p.m. on August 6, 2021 in Warwickshire, England, 23-year-old Megan Newborough left her family home in Nuneaton to meet her boyfriend, 30-year-old Ross McCullum. They had met at work, where Megan was a human resources officer and McCullum was a lab assistant at a Leicestershire-based company. It was meant to be a day like any other spent with McCullum, but it would tragically be the last time anyone saw her alive. Megan had reportedly told her dad she would be back in a few hours, but when no one had heard from her, it became clear that something was wrong. Megan would never stay out that late without telling any member of her family. To make matters worse, she wasn't answering calls or texting back. The next day, her family declared her missing and Ross became a person of interest. But when cops questioned him over the phone after showing up at his family house, things become even more complicated.
Hi, is that Ross?
Hi, it is Ross, yeah.
Hi Ross, my name's Mia, I'm a police officer with Warwickshire Police. We've just come to your mum and dad's house. We're just looking for Megan, she's been reported missing. Have you seen her at all?
She came on Friday. I've been trying to call her loads.
Have you?
She came on Friday for about an hour.
Yeah.
Then she left about 9ish.
Okay.
I went to McDonald's.
Yeah.
And then she didn't call or a text when she got home. She never did.
So you haven't seen her since yesterday about, was it 9:30 you said?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Okay. And where are you at the moment?
I'm in Loughborough right now.
You're in Loughborough. Okay. What are you up to in Loughborough?
Sorry?
What are you up to in Loughborough?
I'm sort of having a few drinks in Loughborough.
Oh yeah. Okay. Are you in a relationship, you and Megan?
Yeah, we've been seeing each other. She's HR at work. I work with her.
Ross admits to meeting up with Megan but tells the officer that she left around 9ish. He sounds pretty convincing, but as the police try to piece together what happened to Megan, the officer finds herself entangled in one man's web of deception and twisted lies, all crafted to conceal his one disturbing secret.
Did she say anything of where she might be going or where she might be?
She said was she was going to go to... She's like going to McDonald's on my own to get like a vanilla milkshake.
Yeah.
That's it.
And she didn't say where she'd be going today, all she said is that she'd meet you?
Well, no, she said she couldn't stop mine. She was going to stop last night around 9, but she said she couldn't.
So she said that she couldn't stop last night. Did she say why she couldn't stop?
No, well, when I texted her to say if she wanted to, she said she couldn't. She never went into detail, no.
She just said she couldn't stop, and then she came round after that.
I think it's because her mum and dad didn't know that I was going to be coming round.
Okay.
And I don't think she wanted them to know. I'm trying to really creep up. That's about 15 WhatsApp messages. She said she was going to call me when she got home or text me or something. I sent her loads of like WhatsApps and like I've rang her up loads.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're obviously worried about her.
Yeah. But she's honestly, she's lovely. She is. I work with her. She's HR. She's a really nice person.
Yeah.
But I am really worried.
What vehicle do you drive, Ross?
Sorry?
What vehicle do you drive?
My company?
What car do you drive?
I don't drive.
You don't drive? Okay. I mean, I appreciate I've probably ruined your night out now by worrying you.
No, honestly, I was worried anyway. I wasn't really on a proper night out, or I wasn't.
No.
Trying to get out. I was really worried earlier. I was probably dad on.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like her to do. It's really. I don't know if you've spoken to the family. It's not like her to do this.
No, they're really worried about her as well.
Ross appeared concerned and his account almost sounded believable. But the cops weren't too convinced even that Megan was last seen with him. During a search of his apartment, they found his bedroom in complete disarray, as if there had been a struggle. On top of that, there were traces of a dark liquid in the hallway. There was more to the case than Ross revealed, so cops paid him another visit, this time for a completely different reason.
At this moment in time, we have reason to suspect your involvement in the disappearance of Megan Newbury, and as a result, I'm arresting you on suspicion of kidnap. So you do not have to say anything. No matter how we defend, you don't mention one question, something which you may later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. So I'm just going to put some handcuffs on you, alright? You can. I'll put these on first.
Ross keeps whispering to the officer, and it's clear he already feels guilty. If the officer wanted answers about Megan, now is the time to get them. And what he says next will change the course of this investigation.
Can you tell us where she is? What's in relation to Megan? Can you tell us where she is? Say again. Talk down the police station. Can you tell us here, just quietly? Woodhouse Eaves. What is that? Near Loughborough. What is it though? What kind of location is it?
She's on Charlie Road.
Charlie Road. Whereabouts? In the labour. Okay. Is she alive? No.
Ross just gave up the location of Megan's dead body, and within a few hours, cops combed the area and found her lifeless body exactly where he said it would be, on Charlie Road in the lane lay by. The postmortem showed that the cause of death was strangulation, after which she was slashed across the throat 14 times. Now what remained was putting the pieces together to understand what happened on that fateful night. Investigators ultimately determined that Ross strangled Megan in his house without provocation. He then placed her body in her own car and drove to a remote area near Woodhouse Eaves, Leicestershire, where he dumped her in a ditch. But just minutes later, CCTV footage caught him making a crucial mistake. At around 9:51 p.m., Ross made a stop at Loughborough College, where he disposed of some of Megan's clothes and changed out of his own. He then abandoned the car and took a taxi home. Once he arrived home, he cleaned up the evidence of the crime and sent a voicemail to Megan's number in another attempt to distance himself from the heinous crime he had just committed.
Hello, babe, it's Ross. I'm just worried about you. If you haven't rang back or, text me or anything. Yeah, I'm just worried, that's all. I had a fun time earlier. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Love you.
Cops now had more than enough evidence to charge him, and Ross was subsequently put on trial for the murder of Megan Newborough. During his trial in November 2022, his defense argued that the murder was spontaneous due to his mental health issues, but the prosecution showed he deliberately tried to cover it up. McCullum was found guilty of murder and received a life sentence, with the possibility of parole after 23 years. The case of Megan Newborough is tragic, but how does it compare to the man who tried to hide his crimes in his own backyard?
Highly suspicious. Seems like a body part.
Are you heartless? No good.
Feathered me for the head up like that.
No, it's not a very...
I did, I'm not a this person I get.
In July 2018, Akron police were notified of the disappearance of 53-year-old Martha Frieda. Her absence was unusual, as she was not the type to disappear without notice, which raised concerns among family and friends. Martha's daughter told police she had been unable to reach her mother since July 31st. She also revealed that her mother had an abusive boyfriend and expressed fear that he may have harmed her.
No calls though. It won't load minutes. Okay. So I was sending her messages from her mother's phone, saying, "This is your daughter. I want to know where you're at." "Oh, I'm at the Kingdom Hall in Kent with friends." I said, "Okay, stay there. I'm coming right now." "Oh, I'm not there. You don't know where I am." "Well, you just said you were there. Where are you?" "Oh, I'm eating now." Then there's a post on Messenger. All of her, the way she types is completely different. She says she's angry at the family, which he knows that she, is estranged with all of us. She still talks to her brother all the time.
Who is she to you?
Hey. She's my mother. That's her boyfriend. That I don't know if he's...
Do you have a key to the house?
No.
The call we got from earlier was someone that said they haven't talked to her since July.
Yes, the end of July. The last time, that was her sister-in-law in Florida.
Okay.
Last time she sent me anything was August 1st.
When's the last time you talked to her?
Talked to her was the end of July. Actually heard her voice.
You live locally here? Where do you live?
Yes, he's coming up with these stories to everybody at where she's at. Now he's got her phone, back minutes on it or whatever, and he can use Facebook from it, but get on her account, and he can send messages, but nobody can answer the phone. Can't hear her voice though.
What's your concern?
That he killed her.
At this moment, Martha's boyfriend, David Callaghan, becomes a person of interest, as he's been in possession of her phone and lives in her apartment. So the cops pay him a visit to figure out what could have possibly happened to her. Strangely though, the only person who didn't seem nervous was David himself, and the reason why is even more perplexing than anything else in the whole case.
Akron Police, just come outside. Is Martha here?
She's probably at her boyfriend's house.
What's your name, bud?
David.
Why do you think she's at her boyfriend's house?
That's where she stays most of the time.
Where's that at?
I don't know. I don't even know who it is.
Well, that's part of the reason we're out here, because no one in her family's talked to her since July.
Oh, I know. She's texted her.
No, she hasn't.
Times. She has another phone besides that.
When's the last time you talked to her?
I don't know, probably 5-6 days ago, maybe.
Where was that at?
I was here.
She stopped up here?
To see her passing, I was leaving.
David's account is slowly falling apart. First, he told friends that she had traveled to Florida. In another version, he claimed she traveled because her father had died. Now he's telling cops she's at her boyfriend's house and that she stopped by a few days ago. The case becomes even more complicated, but cops are determined to piece together the missing puzzle, so they call them in for questioning.
So when you talked to her the third or fourth, she told you she was going to Florida?
Yeah, said her dad, he's supposedly been dying for the last couple of years.
And that was the last time you ever talked to her?
A couple weeks later, she was back at the house once.
Okay.
I know she was dating somebody else. Who it was, I have no idea. I mean, somebody picked her up a couple different times. That's what I told the other detective I talked to 2 days ago. You know, who it is, I have no idea.
Well, Dave, I think there's some little piece missing here, bud. That's what I think. And I think you'd feel better if you just told us what it is.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Well, I think there's a little bit more to the story, Dave, that you're not giving us.
There's nothing else I can tell you. I mean, I've told you everything I know.
Well, I don't think you told us everything, man.
Okay, well, I have.
Are you a heartless bastard? A heartless, cold... No. Okay. So you wouldn't want people to think that about you, right? That you're just a heartless, cold bastard, right?
But just when David thought he had his story straight, he made a disastrous slip-up.
There's some pieces missing to your story, Dave, because that's your handwriting. And that's just that you just wrote your sister's name. The problem is this is August. And as you know, that is your girlfriend, the love of your life, Robin's handwriting.
I said August. That was last month.
That is September, where you paid the rent. So we can keep up this farce that Robin is still around. Correct?
Okay, I've done this numerous times.
Okay. Well, you told me earlier you never done it.
So
you've never asked me if I've gotten a money order for her.
He did ask you this.
I did ask you if you ever made the payment. Yeah.
So Dave,
I did make the payment. I went and got the money order and gave it back to her.
Here's the question. Here's the
You're
question.
saying you didn't even know how much it was.
Here's the question.
You're saying you didn't even know how much it cost.
Are you a heartless,
you never asked me if I went and did
bastard?
that. Okay?
He did ask you.
If I made the payment to my sister, I never made the payment to my sister. I walked down to Speedway and got this for Robin.
That is complete bullshit. You said you'd never done that. You did that to keep up the farce that Robin is still alive.
I never made the payment to my sister.
You did. That's your handwriting.
Okay, I filled it out for her. So what?
Tell us the truth about what happened to Robin.
David starts to look nervous as the cops realize that his rent payment was all an attempt to make it seem like Martha was still alive. At this point, the cops resort to minimization, a technique from the Reed method that uses psychology and persuasion. Slowly, David begins to crack.
Get it off your chest, Dave. You feel better. It's not a very respectful way for a person to end up.
I know it's not. I got fucking scared, man. I'm really scared. She called the police on me again for no reason. I mean, really no reason at all. And I just snapped, man. Snapped.
And you said you hit her?
Yeah.
Did you hit her with your fist or was it something else?
She had just like half an axe handle or something beside the bed. She had it there for a long time, just thinking to protect herself. I don't know, just snapped. I don't know why.
So you struck her with the half an axe handle?
Yeah, I don't even know how many times. She's just so relentless.
How long did this take?
Leave me alone, man. She knew I had nowhere to go. She just kept on me. I'd give her every dollar I had for whatever she wanted. I never had nothing in my pocket, man. Nothing. Well, all the time she called the police on me.
There's a lot of calls to the police.
Nothing was ever proven. I never later put a scratch on her till that night. Man, I swear to God I did.
David confessed to strangling Martha and ensuring she was dead before burying her in a shallow grave behind her house. Before the confession, Martha's cousin received an anonymous text saying David had once mentioned that if he needed to dispose of a body, he would bury it in a fire pit in the backyard. Investigators discovered what they expected to be a horrific scene in David's backyard.
Highly suspicious. Seems like a body part. But we didn't want to dig it out anymore till you guys got here. Yeah. I think, all of us would want it dug out a little bit more before you guys can say, yeah, well, that's about it.
Tragically, the remains of Martha Robin Freitag were found in the shallow grave, and David Callaghan was charged with murder, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. After pleading guilty to the charges, he was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 18 years. A team of anthropologists sifted ashes from a fire pit in the backyard of Martha's home and confirmed that the remains were indeed her deceased body. But what happens when a teen's delusion leads him to violently kidnap his ex, only for the encounter with police to take a deadly turn?
He's coming out. No, I got this up. She's deceased. She's going. She's gone. Step on the ground. No, get on the ground. Hey, get on the ground.
On July 16, 2023, in Fayetteville, Georgia, 20-year-old Cameron John Michael Hopkins walked into a Wingstop restaurant and forced his 19-year-old ex-girlfriend, Kalia Jones, into his car at gunpoint. The scene of the abduction was chaotic, and the restaurant manager quickly dialed 911. Within minutes, officers spotted his red Chevrolet Camaro and immediately initiated a pursuit.
Can you advise if he actually was able to take the female from Wingstop? Taking a left on McDonald Road.
I'm gonna take the one I'm trying to get you on. Yeah, well, we're still on McDonald Road, speeds at about 90, coming up to Chelsea Drive.
While in pursuit, cops learned that Hopkins was out on bond for a misdemeanor case from 1 year earlier when he had attempted to kidnap Kalia from a Lovejoy Walmart at gunpoint and harassed her. Now armed and considered highly dangerous, officers must stop his vehicle before things take an ugly turn.
He just hit a median. He's probably going to go flat here shortly.
$21.15 to 55, man. Clear your phone. Right, it looks like they turned into the high school here, middle school. Hang on, Local high school.
Radio, shots fired, shots fired. Hey, I'm behind you. I'm behind you. I don't know.
Hopkins led authorities on a high-speed chase, which ended at Lovejoy High School, where a pit maneuver was used to stop the car. Little did they know that what was about to happen was far more than they could have ever expected.
Look right here, they're still in the vehicle with shots being fired. Units advised we're at Lovejoy High School. If we can get some units coming to the back side of the school and knock them off. There's two occupants. Two occupants in the car. Coming to y'all.
Shots rang out from inside the vehicle as officers ordered Hopkins to step out. Just when it seemed like a gunfight was about to break out, Hopkins did the unthinkable, and the cops made a shocking discovery.
He's coming out. No, I got this up. He's coming out.
Down him right there by the car. The passenger door.
Climb out.
Yeah, he's gonna climb out.
Yeah, make him climb out. Hold on. Let me. I'm coming with the shield.
Stand back.
Hold on. Shield.
Back up. There ain't no point moving up on him. Call his ass down.
Come out. Come out the car.
Passenger looks deceased.
Come out. Climb over. Come out.
Climb out of the window.
Get out.
Climb out of the window.
Come out the window.
Climb out of the window.
I know you heard that.
She's deceased. She's going or not. You want to move up on them?
Crawl out. Negative. Negative.
No.
We got all but
come out the car, man.
Son, you got to come out of the car, man.
Crawl out.
No,
man.
Don't hey, one voice. One voice. You give voices.
Come out of the car, man. Look, come out of the car and we can help you and we can help her.
Keep your hands where I can see you.
Step out. Step out. Step out.
On the ground. On the ground. On the ground.
Step
on the ground. No, get on the ground.
Hey! Get on the ground. Get on the ground, man. Keep your hands right there.
You got hands and commands. Come to us.
Do it now.
I got you. You ready?
Get out. Pull more. Damn it.
Officers deployed OC spray, a non-lethal irritant, to force him out of the vehicle and then used water to clear his eyes. At this moment, EMTs confirm that Callaghan is deceased, but Hopkins wasn't about to take responsibility.
No, because the gun went off on her. Okay. We're not arguing with you, dude.
All right, we're
Stick
gonna
your head out.
Stick your head out. We're gonna dump this on you so you can get some of that OC out of your eye.
Where is she? Well, I think he's full of He said she had the gun and she shot herself.
No, it was him. I could clean his day. He was coming around with it, and that's why I failed.
I'm just saying, that's what well, I know. That's when you jumped out, and I jumped out. I heard the shot, so I was like, let me come around this way. And then I couldn't see inside the car. I knew she was in there, so I was like, I'm not going to fire and hit her. But
I saw two people.
Hopkins claimed that the gun went off on her. However, given his pattern of abusive and violent behavior toward her, it's clear he's only trying to save face. Hopkins was arrested and charged with kidnapping, malice murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and possession of a weapon during the commission of the crime. Meanwhile, his kidnapping and aggravated assault charges from his previous case are still pending.